And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at the, I'm assuming, first expansion for Starship Samurai, Shattered Alliances, a Starship Samurai expansion. So the game was already kind of ridiculous, Starship Samurai, where you're fighting over different planets and working with alliances, and you have these giant robots, Voltron style, or Gundam style, or whatever, floating in space and fighting one another and fighting ships. It's a very much in-your-face combat game for 2 to 4 players. And so, what more do we want from this game? Well, there's an action card deck, so more action cards is probably not a bad thing. Having more mechs is probably not a bad thing. Well, lo and behold, that's what this expansion has. Let's take a look. So there's 2 new mechs included with this game, both samurai mechs, Hanzo and Ishida. Hanzo, if you have one ship, exactly one ship there, that ship can't be destroyed. You get a super uber powerful ship with him. That's a pretty interesting thing. He's actually one of my favorite mechs because of this. And this guy gets money every time you gain a location reward at his location, which is interesting. He gives you that extra money flow. I don't know if I like him as much, but hey, they're there. Now, these are both samurai mechs, and there are some cards now in a new action deck. So I should mention there's a new action deck included with this game. 40 cards, and there's a little rule card. This is the whole rules for the game that tells you how you can use it. You can use the new action deck only. You can combine them. You can have your own 40-card action deck, or you can shuffle them together, and each player gets 20 cards. So you have 4 players, 20 cards each. And those players will basically draft cards, and then you have your own personalized 20-card deck. That's my favorite way to do it, but at the same time, that does add a bit of time to the game, to draft from 20 cards. So, anywho, there are some cards here that deal with samurai mechs. So as we look at these cards, here we have, if you control a samurai mech at a battle that has more attack than an enemy, you can send it back to the supply. All samurai mechs have 0, so this is like an anti-samurai one. Destroy a small enemy ship at a location where you control a samurai mech, and you get money equal to the attack of a samurai mech. You control the location and put them back in the supply. I don't know how often I want to do that one, but I guess if you're in desperate need for money. Now, there are other cards in this game that have to do with the clan markers specifically. So what these cards do is if you control a specific clan marker, then these cards will do something for you. So this kind of helps differentiate between the different clan markers. So here, if the Terra clan is on your branch of the alliance track, you get +2 attack for each ship you control at this location. Otherwise, you can move it up to 3 spaces. So they each kind of have that. Here, if it's on your track, destroy 3 ships at any location. Here, if it's on your track, destroy a samurai mech. Here, if it's on your track, return all the units from the graveyard to your supply and draw 2 action cards. I really like that one. Here, if it's on your track, gain 5 attack. Here, if it's on your track, move 5 units you control for the advanced warp games to perfect sale, get some money. Or here, search the action deck for a card, put in your hand, shuffle it, and gain 2 money. So these cards, there's multiples in this deck, but they're all very specific to these different orders. Then there's also a bunch of just ordinary cards that do various things. I like this one here. You can get the location right away. Here you can attach it to a location to basically shut down a location, which is pretty useful. You have to make someone else discard 2 action cards, and you can kind of protect the location. Here you can move a clan marker on your branch down 1 to get 5 money. So you're extorting your own people you control, which is kind of an interesting thing. This gives you 5 attack and a point, but you have to sacrifice 3 ships to do it. This one here, you sacrifice a ship to get 1 attack and then 1 for each unit in your graveyard. This one I really like. You lose a lot of ships, and this can come in very powerful. I also like the hidden weapon, where you basically double a unit. Get a unit that's very powerful and double it. Very cool, and it's also thematically fun. Samurai mechs, magnetic field, gain +2 to destroy a ship. This is kind of a very simple one. And then the Death Star shows up. Maybe not, but it's a show of force. Remove a location card you claim from the game. This costs you 4 points, but if you do, you move all clan markers on the alliance track up to 2 spaces each. That's really powerful. Is it worth doing? It's worth doing for the theme, I guess. But there you go. Those are some of the cards that are in this set. Really, if you think about it, this is everything in the game. Cards and 2 mechs. It's really kind of, for such a large box, there's not a ton of content in here, but they are all new cards. The cards are decent quality. The mechs, well, they're samurai mechs. I know a lot of people like the samurai style mech. Well, this one has a little bit of bendy swords. You can fix that with warm mortar. But I like how they look. I've always liked the models in this game, and we got 2 more models. Well, that's pretty much it for components. Sometimes I'm just happy with more stuff. That's exactly what this one adds. There are now 10 mechs, or 10 giant robots for you to draw, so there will be 2 that won't be used. That's cool, there's just more options. The 40 action card deck, I'll play one of 2 ways with this myself. I'll mix them all together for 80 cards, which is kind of cool because there's a whole lot of variety then between the different cards. Or I'll do the drafting thing, which like I said is really neat, but it does take a little bit longer to play. If you like this game, and I do, this is easy. It's more stuff, get it. Like I said, the box is probably a little bigger than it needs to be, and there's no way I'm keeping it in this box. It's going right to the main box. There's plenty of room for it. And I do like the samurai robots. They've never made sense to me, you know, from a usefulness perspective. Why do you care if your robot looks like a samurai? Wouldn't you want a robot that's functionally cool? But at the same time, why are we talking about giant robots in the first place? So this adds some neat things. I especially like those new order cards that let you basically, if you control a certain faction, get a special ability. That adds a little bit more theme. And I love the Death Star card. I know it's not a Death Star, but it's basically that. And I think that's a really neat addition, cool theming. So if you like Starship Samurai, you'll like this expansion. If you didn't, I don't even know why you're watching this review in the first place, but this isn't going to change anything. It's more stuff, and more stuff, in this case, is a good thing. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!